Good morning and thank you for watching. This is my December budget wrap up and January budget preview. And I thought I would pop on here and let you know how I did for the month of December. So this month is a little bit more challenging with Christmas and all the holiday stuff associated Christmas and New Year's. Forgive me, I'm getting over being being out late from New Year's. So this is my income up at the top, and then here are the fixed expenses, and they came in pretty bang on target. The only slight variances were the utilities, which were higher because I didn't realize I had carried over a balance on my electric bill. So I paid that off, and then immediate savings, which was a little bit lower than I had anticipated. Tide was a little bit higher because, as you'll see, I'll explain. So this is a total for savings with a variance of only about 1%. So moving down to the variable income, and here's where it gets a little variable expenses. Here's where it gets interesting. For gas, I came in pretty on target. Groceries, a little bit above 386, and that was because I had some sort of holiday stuff that I just didn't want to say no to. So I didn't. For personal care, I came in under budget, but made up for it in other areas. You'll see the car expense, which was actually paid in November last month, but counted toward this month's budget just because it looked better that way. Food out, I came in greatly under budget, but as you'll see, I made up for it in the additional category. So in the additional category, I spent about $560. Sorry, forgive me, it's early. And you'll see the expenses below for a grand total of $3,900. You may ask yourself, well, how is that possible if you only earned this much? So two reasons. Number one, this car expense was in the previous month. Number two, I had carried over some income, so actually three reasons. And number three, I had additional income coming in. You'll see. Okay, so the additional expenses were as follows. I bought business materials. I bought like a bookkeeping book that I wanted to pay for from my main account and not from business, just because I'm trying to save up in the business accounts. I bought some clothing, that 134. Did I need it? Absolutely not. Did I love every single thing that I bought? Absolutely. And am I going to try to resell it to get some of my money back? You betcha. So that was clothing, and then gifts was another big one that I had budgeted for this on paper. I don't know how it didn't super work out in reality because I didn't have like a set aside fund, which I'll get into. Again, because my budget is so super, super tight, it's tough to do any type of sinking fund or additional savings because I run super close to my margins to begin with. So I avoid the stress and frustration of sinking funds by using what I have to hand. And then for lawn care, I had an additional expense as well, and I do have an outstanding balance on that, because it's just, again, super hard to handle during the spring and summer months, so we end up paying kind of on a payment plan throughout the year. So those were the additional expenses that I incurred this month. So here is the income that I had. I made $30 from private lessons, $200 teaching with a local studio, and an extra $100 from a performance that I did, and I got a bonus this year, which was totally unexpected and really wonderful. But here's wonderful, full stop, period. What I didn't realize, and I should have, silly me, I should have realized this immediately. When they said the amount for the bonus, I got really excited. When I saw that amount in my check, I got kind of sick to my stomach because, and this is just to be expected, over 50, I would say about 50% of it was taken out for taxes. So like 48% was taken out for taxes. So that was a little bit of a downer. Thumbs up if you can relate to that. So I was super grateful to get that, and that helped a lot, and that kind of helped cover some of the additional expenses that came up. Again, I would have preferred to be able to sort of either set that aside in savings or do something specific with that money, but it ended up being used, so I didn't have to pull from my emergency savings fund, which I guess is definitely a plus. So that is my recap, and if you look at the totals here, I was about 38% off. There was a variance of 38% in my variable income, and that was definitely due to the additional and the groceries categories, but an overall variance of just about 15%, which I'm happy with. There's really nothing I would have done differently. Could I have done with fewer clothes? I could have, but each and every piece that I bought, I absolutely loved and absolutely had a fantastic time with, so I consider that money well spent. So that is my December 18 wrap up, and I move on to my January 19 budget preview. And here it is. I'm really liking this formula of running the month down. Um, so sort of vertical instead of horizontal and with a separate tab for each month. I just want to keep everything all on the same sheet. And I love the color coding. Shout out to Dennis Trufant of True Financials. I love that color. So this is my January plan. Fixed expenses coming in at 2105. And yeah, so this over here is my variable expenses. And you'll see my total expenses are 305, which is slightly above my actual income, which is just kind of how we're living at the moment. Could I cut down in some of these areas? Sure. Do I feel like each area is worthwhile? Yes, I do. So we're still a little bit outstanding on that. And there will be some tweaking to come for the month, I am sure. So that is kind of the outline plan and what I'm up to at the moment. Yeah, and that is where we're at. I will post an update kind of, I don't know if I'm going to do a mid-month update, probably not, but because I don't find that as helpful as doing the report recap. Oops, sorry guys. So that is where I am. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, let me know, and I hope that you'll keep watching. Bye.